It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Oh, Miss Rusty. What is up, everyone? It is some day of the week. It's Friday, show number 2. Like I said, next week's going to be a little bit of a lighter episode. In October and November, maybe a little light on episodes leading up to the 10-year anniversary slash episode 500. Both of those events are coming up soon. I think it's like 470 something, 478 maybe. So yeah, that'll be here before you know it. Probably by the end of the year should be at 500, and I think the 10-year anniversary should be right before. Um, Still in 2013. Yeah, sometime in November. I need to double check that actually, see when that came out. Jeez, I don't even know. I bet I can figure this out. But thank you guys for listening here, checking out the Public Access Podcast, the Podcast. I'm your host, Rusty Diamond. So let's see, the Public Access Podcast. Steve Magnuson, episode number 1. When was that? I have 2 with him. So number 1 was made when? November 15th, 2013. So that's pretty soon, you guys. That'll be the 10-year anniversary. So, you guys, let's get into it. I have a special guest sitting here. I'm just having, a conversation here. So I'm going to bring my special guest right here, right now. And my special guest right here, right now is Eugenia Gomez. There she is. How you doing?
Hi, how are you? Fine, and you?
I'm great. How are you? Yeah, you're fine. So, oh Jesus. Yeah. So where again in the world are you?
I'm currently on vacation in Spain.
Okay, not a bad place to be on vacation.
Well, I'm Spanish, but I live in Luxembourg, so right now I'm back uh to my roots.
Okay, so it's afternoon there right now. So I guess I can't say good morning to you. Maybe it's evening, early
It's
evening,
4
something like
p.m. right now. 4.
4 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you get to do on a vacation when you're back? Are you back in your hometown, or are you in a different part of the
Um,
country?
I'm in a different part of the country. My parents used to bring us here when bringing us on vacation as we were children, so we are now by the beach all together.
Oh,
Uh, it was my son's birthday 6 days ago, and I'm still here, so we came to celebrate um birthday party.
not a bad deal. Not a bad way. Spend time at the beach. So is that like in the southern part of the country
Yeah,
on
Malaga,
the
if
Mediterranean,
you know, it's the sunny part.
the sunny
I
part?
come from the north part. It's always raining and cloudy, and nobody would believe that there's a part of a region in Spain that would always rain and always cloudy, but there it exists, and that's where I'm from. So we're coming here to the south where everything is sunny, and even now in October, nobody would say it's autumn. It's great.
Not a bad deal. How long are you there for?
I've been here for 6 days now, and I will probably stay until the 20th or something like that. So I don't have a
Oh,
return ticket yet. So
even better.
whenever I decide to go, I go.
I guess I'm done with the beach. Do you hang out at the beach then? Is that
Yeah,
or
yeah,
just
yeah.
sit
It's just
there?
here.
Oh, okay. Right outside the door. There's the beach.
Yeah, I could show
Uh,
you right now if you feel like
why
seeing a
why
bit of
not?
beach.
Well, let's see the beach.
Let's see. I can show you right now. You
Oh,
see
there is the beach. Oh, wow.
The beach and the wind
Oh.
and the dry river.
Not a bad deal for today. Not too bad at all.
Right? I wish we could all live in such a place every single day.
So you're in Luxembourg then, you said now you live?
I live in Luxembourg, yeah.
Okay. And so yeah, I mean, how'd you get out there to Luxembourg? How'd that happen?
Um, I first moved to Germany following my back then boyfriend. So I
Uh-huh.
moved to a different country for love. And 5 years later, I had enough of the boyfriend, of the job, of the country, everything. And I just found this other job opportunity in Luxembourg and I moved. I was already fed up of corporate world, but everybody told me you're crazy if you want to quit your career, quit everything, and just go to Africa or Asia. You cannot do that. You have a great life, blah blah blah. So I heard them instead of hearing myself, and I just moved countries to keep doing the same thing. Great mistake, maybe not, I don't know, but I finally quit my career 3 years later after moving to Luxembourg. So
When was that?
delaying myself, but
You did it.
I did it. Yeah.
You did it. Was that during the shutdown of everything, or was that before then?
I quit 3 months before COVID.
Oh,
So I
okay.
quit instead of COVID was March. I quit in December for Christmas, not coming back after Christmas. So yeah, my intention was to discover myself while traveling the world, and 3 years later, I'm still in Luxembourg. Life happened.
And that's not a bad thing at all. And
No.
so I mean, so what was it that got you to just say I'm done with the corporate world? Just one day, like you took your Christmas break and just decided
Oh no, it was a huge process. I would say it was a 5-year process to take myself to handle my fears and put my big girl pants and decide to quit everything. 5 years. But yeah, in the end, I just strategized. I was an engineer, so I did put all my analytical, rational mind to work. I strategized my escape, and the moment I reached my goal, I kept the promise to myself and I was out.
so did you get to have what was your way out like? What did you get to? Was it a happy thing when you told your boss that you were leaving, or did your boss understand, or did you go out guns blazing, or did
Um, well, the first time I hinted it, about 1 or 2 weeks later, the back then director had a stroke. I hope that was not on me, but it was a coincidence.
oh,
And she is still in a coma, as far as I know. So
years later?
yeah, yeah. So that was a big one.
Well, yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and then her substitute, it was a woman. Her substitute took it pretty good, but that that 1 month notice that I kept working for them, the relationship was not as friendly as it used to. But they didn't give me extra work or anything like that. They just I could see their true colors during that month, let's say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Time to start looking for a way out at that
Yes,
point.
definitely. It was nice because after that Christmas, one colleague wrote me a message asking me for help because he couldn't uh, handle a problem, a challenge that he found, and he texted me instead of his manager, and I'm like, What are you talking about? I'm out. Deal with it yourself.
Yeah. Let me refer you to somebody else here. This is not my problem anymore. Not my job. There's someone
Yeah.
else who can probably do it, and happy to. And it's a good feeling to be able to pass that along to somebody else and get into that. And I mean, now you can go on vacations with a return date question mark, and just yeah,
Yeah.
when I'm ready, come back, and you can. I mean, you can work on vacation if you want. I don't know. So do you work during vacation, or when you're on vacation, do you stop, or does your train of thought with your work now ever stop, or how's that work?
Um, my life is my job, and I live on vacation, I would say. So I found that balance more or less. But yeah, you'd say I'm a stay-at-home mom,
Yeah.
but at the
What would
same
you
time,
say?
I'm a stay-at-home mom,
Okay.
right? I have a
Yeah.
baby now, and all I do is taking care of him. And at the same time, whenever I find the time in those moments when he is asleep, I have the time for myself to be with my business and with myself. And it's not ideal yet, but he is growing, my baby is growing, and I see it that it will be way better. I'm just laying the groundwork right now.
Trying to get your baby to be thinking of how he can help out mom in her job and make her business.
Yeah, it would be amazing, right? I see those Instagrammer moms always filming their babies, and it's like the babies don't see that the camera is in front of them filming them. They are oblivious to the camera.
Right.
Whenever I grab my phone, it's just like, phone, I want to watch a video, cartoons, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't know even how those moms do it.
But then again, I one thing I see with that though, somewhere down the line, is when these kids get older, that all of a sudden it might already be happening, but like, you know, growing up and then, taking their parents to court or something for some sort of,
Hmm.
using them as, which I don't know what could really, come of that, like for, like if yeah, your kids content, or, like one of those kids that's like what turns into a meme or something, and then they have that for the rest of their life, kids, other people, tormenting them for like, oh, you're the whatever kid. And I don't know. I feel that one day that's gonna end up happening. But I mean, yeah, I mean that it's interesting how, yeah, I mean it's changed. There's all different kinds of ways to, but that's also part of the Instagram, the life. I mean, is showing everything and being very open about everything that you want to be open about. That I guess that the people watching want you to be open about. And I don't know. It's interesting. There's only so much I like to bring out, of everything I do. Um,
Well, I understand. I have that conflict myself because I'm working on myself to become visible. So on one side, I would like to simply expose everything,
yeah,
and on the other side, I want to be out of social media because my life is way happier. I'm way happier when I'm away from social media. So I guess I still need to find that balance or remove that inner conflict that I have, either fuck social media, whatever, or
Yeah.
lean into the new society that is being built.
They do have AI that can take care of your social media now if you want to go that way too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gotten a lot of the time to the fuck social media as well, and um, it's hard, like especially with one of the people that I run all my stuff with, just trying to talk with him and be like, look, I don't want to do this shit. Like, you can take all this social media stuff, like I'll create all the content, but then I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be going and responding to a million different people trying to spend my whole time, spend my day scrolling through bullshit. Especially once, like, I guess before, it was kind of around the same time when COVID happened and all that shit happened. Like, I really got away from social media. I really just,
Mm,
because I didn't. A lot of people went the other way and went full
mm,
into staying. Okay, yeah, scrolling all the time, leaving, answering everything to every post, putting their comments on there, and it didn't matter to me at all. And I went out, and that's when I was out hustling, doing everything else. But then I just watch it, just everything kind of turned into this huge dumpster fire. But there are positive ways you can do social media, but I don't know. I haven't found a way to find a positive way to do social media. That's why I'm like, I would rather have someone else take over all that for me. And, there can be the Rusty Diamond entity of whatever. That's not really me. And I'm okay with that. I can do this where I feel like, even though I know AI can do this for me, but I haven't got to that point yet. And AI can do most anything I can do better. Actually, everything I can do better. But I'm gonna hold on to this for as long as I can. But like the social media, I don't care. It's not worth it for me. And so I mean, and then also there's the this podcast I was just recording before this. I didn't get to ask her this, but somehow I was thinking it, but then I ended up getting sidetracked. But so, like, going to a concert or something, and because she brought up being in the moment, she said she came across like she was in Africa and she was saw a female lion and like locked eyes with it, but she thought that if she pulled out her phone to take a picture or a video, that it would have maybe just ran off and she wouldn't have seen it. But she thought to stay in the moment and be able to have that moment, connect eyes with it, and like, give it a okay, I acknowledge you. And I mean, I see that at concerts too. Like at concerts, I mostly, will see, thousands of phones lined up, but people kind of missing out on the part of experiencing and just being at the concert. If you really want that footage, you go and you type in hashtag whatever the name of the band is in the city, and they'll have thousands of videos of it at the same show you were at. Um, that's kind of the same thing I feel too. So with there's like I don't know if it's the same there. Like with
mhm,
online, well, and like with online dating, there's a few places that there's always a picture of someone with a dog, someone holding a fish, someone walking or like taking a picture at Machu Picchu down in South America. Um, it's kind of like or in Europe, people doing the picture with the Leaning Tower of Pisa, doing the
mhm.
that whole picture. And I mean, there's so much of people missing out on just being in the moment. And I don't know what's kind of your thoughts on that, on
Um, what for? I think it's just more of the culture of having more things under your name, right? You want to gather as many memories as you can. You want to gather as many places as you can. You want to gather, it's all about gathering, all those memories that in the end you will never go back to watch those videos and those pictures. I have plenty, and I have absolutely never gone back to watch them or look at them, even anything, nothing. And
Right.
when Facebook or now Google Photos or whatever reminds me, oh, 1 year ago you did this, and it's like, nice, okay. What's the point? I'm now in this other moment. No, why do you want to bring me back to my memories when I am now enjoying this? Or maybe I'm bored, and so I am thankful for this memory, this reminder. But it's all about the gathering, and that's all about fulfilling our egos. Instead of being in the moment where our soul wants to be and just getting to know ourselves better, it's more of dreaming about what used to be and worrying about what we still don't have, and having that scarcity. To
I
have
mean,
the illusion that we are full of things, because that's why we want to gather, to have the illusion that we have a lot of things, but then it's the scarcity, that lack that we feel inside.
I'm 41, and how much nostalgia stuff is so kind of pushed down our throats. Just like, oh, here's all the stuff. You remember this from the 1980s, from the 1990s. Like, I don't care. Like, okay, yeah, good. It's good for 3 seconds, and then like, okay, that was
Yeah.
something that happened in time. Okay, cool,
Uh,
great.
and now I'm back to my shitty life.
Yeah, now I'm back. Here we are. Here we are. This talking about the whatever Tickle Me Elmo or something like, oh, do you remember Tickle Me Elmo? And like, well, okay, great. Yeah, there's that or uh, or but it's odd. And it's I don't know what the point of it is and why. Yeah, well, I mean, we just miss out on so much of being in the present. Like you don't have the same experience if you're at a place like if you pull out your phone, and then you're looking at your phone, you're looking at your phone while you could just be sitting there just enjoying whatever's going on. But yeah, thinking that, maybe for internet clout or, whatever, you get that little bit and then that's kind of it. And here it is, here's this little blip and now it's gone. But then that point of time that you could have had to really experience it, the whole experience was going to get that little boost of serotonin from maybe getting a like or two on a post for taking time to take this video and upload it or picture, or and then it's gone, and then you're just kind of
Mhm,
searching for that again.
mhm. Wouldn't it be just way better if we could find that serotonin or even oxytocin shot from being with ourselves?
Right, why can't we?
Oh, yes, we can. Just needs work and rewiring, but we can.
How have you done it?
Ah,
What's the Eugenia trick?
allowing ourselves or being open to staying with the emotions, like really being okay or trying to stay with that emotion instead of, when we procrastinate, instead of going to fetch the phone and start scrolling,
Yeah.
keep your hand here next to you. Yeah, it's like, okay, phone, I see you there, but I'm going to keep my hand for myself for a second and just see what happens. Your hand absolutely wants to run out to grab the phone, but you can just keep it here and see what happens with that emotion. Like you start feeling your some tickling in your arms, that you start getting nervous in your belly, you start feeling all the sensations, and just stay with it. And you will find deep shit just by doing that. But that's the nice thing. You find the deep shit and then you're able to transmute it into something nicer. Um,
And it's okay to feel that deep shit. And
well,
it's easy to run from it. It's like, oh, I feel deep shit. Okay, see you later. I'm done.
it's easier, more convenient.
Uh-huh. But then you're also just every time you get that deep shit, you get to that, see ya, I'm done. And then it stops you every time. I mean you can, but instead you're saying, like you're saying, you can channel it and embrace it and
Yeah.
get power from that.
Well, because nobody tells us. We are conditioned and wired to run away from it. But if we can rewire ourselves to be there with the emotion and with the pain, the shit, whatever, the challenge, and see it as an opportunity for connection and inner growth, connection with ourselves. The moment we have that connection with ourselves, that understanding with ourselves, we will project it onto the others to have that vulnerability and that connection with the others that we so much desire. But since we run away, well, since we run away and we ignore it, avoid it, well, we are doing the same with the others. We are not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and have that connection that we so much desire.
Right. And
It's difficult, though,
yeah,
to have the trigger and stay with it. It's very difficult.
but then yeah, I mean, how do we get people to um want to do that? Do you have to do it one time and like just trust that it's going to be okay if you do it? Or, I mean, because
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
you can say, oh, no, it'll never work, but then you're never going to find out that it does work.
Yeah.
I can tell you it
But
works.
yeah,
You can tell people it works.
but you have to, oof, it's painful. I remember uh when all the, because I'm now currently changing my business perspective, but back then I thought I was an energy healer, which I
Yeah.
am, but I'm also other things. Um, and wow, when I started seeing and feeling energy in my body, that was very frightening. Like feeling like currents of energy as if you were touching, I don't know, how is it called? This fences, electrified fences or something. I don't know. I have never touched one, but I would assume that it would be something like that.
Yeah.
But these currents of energy inside your body, like I cannot move, I cannot talk, like please help me. I cannot even tell you help me, or I cannot even talk because my tongue doesn't move, my head is pounding, and I am in so much fear right now. Please stop. And the moment I thought, please stop, it stopped. And so it was a confirmation that something was happening to me other than a health issue.
Yeah.
But the more it happened, the more I had to, okay, something wants to happen through me. I have to lean into it. I have to surrender to it. I have to allow it to flow through me. And that was very scary. Like I feel I am about to die with all this energy, like really my brain about to explode. And I need to allow it to happen in order for me to transcend to the new self. And it was very scary, very, very scary. My husband back then was about to take me to the hospital because I was like making sounds, but I couldn't tell him anything. And this happened like weekly for like 2, 3 months because I
Oh,
was not allowing myself to bring myself to that surrendering state. That was the amount of fear that I was in. So I was cutting it every time. And yeah, it is horrible. I can tell you that being in the emotional pain and sitting in that emotional pain is way easier than that.
and I mean, now you have this new tool though, and now you can, make it, channel it into something positive. And so, and what was the first thing you did that got it into a positive light?
Uh, I don't know, I guess helping others understand their own inner conflicts and help them have that intimate relationships, because I am able to channel their energy and understand what they are going through. So it's not like I channel from spirit or whatever, but I'm able to understand your energy, like do as if your energy was mine and interpret it for you. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, then how are you walking away from that? Are you walking away, like when you're working with someone else, how's that making you feel? And when you're working with someone else or working with yourself, where's that putting you?
Well, I'm an empath, and before knowing all of this, I would absorb everybody's emotions and think they were mine and just go crazy with the drama. And it still happens sometimes, but I have learned how to put those boundaries to protect myself from, not to put a wall to keep us separated, but to set boundaries, like energetic boundaries to keep my bubble safe.
Yeah, I wish I remembered. There's a book I had, and I don't know how I'd find it. But yeah, it's basically talks about it. Like one of the things they use to, geez, like picturing a bubble around you and not letting, that bubble or balloon around you, get
Yeah,
letting
well,
people, into that and taking on their bullshit sometimes. And
I one of my, well, I wouldn't call her spiritual teacher, but one of the people I looked up to like 3 years ago when I started, she gave me this tip. I will share it here. It's just like put yourself inside a disco ball, imaginary
oh,
disco ball,
okay.
right? So
Yeah.
that bullshit reflects back and the love and compassion can come in through the cracks, while at the same time, all your love and compassion can go out through the cracks. But the most important thing is that the bullshit can reflect back in the mirrors.
Yeah. I like that. And I think it's important to be able to have something like that, especially, you know, like you were saying, how easy it is to take on other people's bullshit. Just
Very
and it's
easy.
like, okay, well, this person, they're bringing me down. They're like, why? Why is this person bringing me down? And then it's like, well, you know what? They can bring themselves down. I don't need to take any of that. And then just,
What
I'm
if I
good.
told you that this is perfect and a perfect example of opportunity for self-growth? Because they are doing bullshit that resonates with you. So you wouldn't be attracted to this person, even if it is a friend, you wouldn't have attracted this person into your life if their bullshit wouldn't resonate with some part of you. So if you're able to detach yourself from that behavior and recognize that and see it for just the behavior as it is and ask yourself honestly, what is it in me that resonates with this behavior? There will be something that comes out and you will grow, and that behavior will no longer be part of your reality. Even in this friend, he will either live your life or like level up with you.
Right. Which is important. And it's okay to have either one of those outcomes of the relationship. Either one of those is fine. And it's like, it's okay to leave people behind. There's nothing wrong with that. Uh, Nothing at all. And not everyone has to be your friend. You you don't have to hate them, but like they're doing their thing. You're not on the same level.
Can I say something to that?
You can say everything to that.
It's true. Okay, this is true. And at the same time, because we all yearn so much for connection, telling them bye and pushing them away because you don't like their behavior or their actions or whatever they're saying or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Just pushing them away brings us a bit down. Plus, since they are a reflection of us, it's like we are saying no to a part of ourselves, if that makes sense. They
Yeah.
are really a reflection of something, like one of our voices, maybe a subconscious voice that we have. They are a reflection of that. So telling them no, you're telling no to yourself. And therefore, this is why, for me at least, and plenty others, sitting with that discomfort and with that pain instead of reaching for the phone works and brings in that deeper connection with ourselves and with others. Because sometimes it is okay to say bye, but from a grounded place. Once you know that you don't want this version of yourself to rule your life anymore, you want a different version of yourself to rule your life, an improved version, but not just saying, I don't want this behavior in my life, so bye. And then you will just, because you have not learned the lesson, you will just bring the same behavior in from another person.
Yep. I
So
agree. And it's kind of the same thing with anything with you working on yourself. You know, you have to be able to heal yourself. You can't really run from the stuff that has happened or is happening. You have to work through it at some point, or else, you know, it's going back to I say, and I don't like using the word, but people use the word triggered. I don't like using the word triggered, but people get triggered, and it's going to happen again and again until you work through it. And, you know, it's only, you know, you really only have yourself to blame for it at that point too, because you can work through it and you can make it, you know, until you, it's not someone else's fault that they are affecting how you take something in. It's only on you, and you can change how you react to whatever situation. And learning more about yourself is never a bad thing. Understanding why things are there about yourself is never a bad thing.
but when you're in the situation, for example, all my exes, now with my husband is different, although we are also in the verge of divorce, so it's more or less the same. But with all my exes, I was always the crazy one, the drama queen, whatnot. I was not looking into myself. Back then, I started just a couple of months before meeting my husband. Um, and it's interesting what you're saying, because I was getting triggered a lot with their behavior or their lack of behavior that I was expecting from a partner. Uh, but I think that what pissed me off most was their behavior when I was trying to communicate what they were doing to me that I disliked. Um, so this is also something to take into account, being able to hold that space for myself and for them while I am communicating what it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, and it's okay to, and you know, be in that space, and it's okay to, and you should be, if you can be in that space, and then just even realizing that is that the first thing you got to do is realizing that that's a thing, and then you're already 50 steps ahead. I guess one step, but that's a huge step ahead of a lot of other people, and then you're gonna start, once you start working through that, you're gonna start attracting different people.
Oh, I
um
think that being aware of it is already like 80% of the work done
I think
just
so
by
too.
becoming aware of your pattern. It's
Yeah,
everything.
and yeah, then you got the onion open, and now you can start peeling away layers of the onion. But the onion's open. The onion's a hard thing to crack open, but once it's open, and then
Hmm.
you can
Yeah.
just start working on yourself little by little, and
So you just
yes,
said that you just said that you dislike the word trigger.
yep.
What do you use instead?
I don't have a word for trigger, another word for trigger. That's why if I did, but I don't know. I don't think we should have to be triggered by anything. And I feel like trigger is a kind of a cop out word to be, this is something that is affecting me in this way, and I have no power over it. It's only the people saying the stuff that have power over it, thus having power over me. And all I can do is shut down and take it, is what I kind of feel triggered is. It's not a very empowering word. And I don't know what an empowering version of triggered could be. And maybe it's a word that needs to be invented, or there is a word I just don't know about.
Mm. Well, at the end of the day, if I get angry, you pull the trigger, but the anger is mine. So, yeah.
Right. And just knowing that is part of that. That's part of that, getting to that 80%. Knowing that that anger is yours. And like, I'm even kind of, working with that now. I have a shitty landlord, and like, I was talking about this last night. I was like, well, did I was I in a place that I brought this, landlord in, like, and like, what is it about it? Like, I didn't get to meet this person. And then I'm not making up excuses. I didn't get to meet the person, and it was the only person. Like, we had to find a place, and that was the only person that there was. But then I'm like, but I did. They're in my existence. Like, they are something, and like, whatever she's doing. So like, but then now I've been going through it like last week. I'm like, okay, there's something about it that's getting to me, and like, what is it? Why is this getting to me? And I've been having to think about that, and it's okay.
It can be
And
so many things.
yeah, and I mean, but it's something that I'm realizing, something in me, or around me, that is letting that happen. And like, okay, so maybe I need to work on myself some here, figure out what that is, and just sit with it and let my brain do my stuff. And yeah,
Have you tried journaling on it? No?
that's a good idea. I have not. I really haven't done journaling for a long time. I used to a while back, but it's been a while. I I worked through it in my head with hypnosis, but journaling would be a good alternative as well, or addition. Um, because I mean, yeah, working through it, getting the stuff out in your head, out of your head, into something else, to make it not something that's just in your head and just taking over, being able to work through it and get it out on paper, or however
Well,
it works.
it can help you, um, yeah, put it all out, but it can help you to pinpoint the subconscious beliefs that are running the show, so that then you can do the hypnotherapy more targeted towards that, right?
That's a good idea. Now I have to go. I won't even tell you how many different notebooks I have down there. I bet I have at least 10 sitting in there that have maybe a half a page written on them, and then put away, and they're like, oh, I'll get a new book and start working on that. But again, yeah, part of that, it's there now. It's just getting the rest of that 20%. Uh,
Well, I'm sure you can sit down staring at that wall and you will already be pretty hypnotized just focusing on that, and all the all the stuff will come out pretty easily.
that's what I'm hoping. And yeah, hopefully whoever is watching this could do the same. And yeah, and so let's see. So you're not super present on the, if people, I mean, they want to work with you, or they want to find you or do whatever, is there a way people can do that? or do they
Yes,
just get a carrier pigeon and sort of find you somehow?
yes. They can find me in Facebook, in my profile, personal profile. I do have a page. I have Instagram. I have everything because business gurus have told me to build it, but I don't do anything on them. It's like they are dead. They exist.
Yeah.
They're dead. So the way to would be through my personal Facebook profile, a direct message. It's Eugenia Gomez dot a human, I believe.
Okay.
Um, and
I can link
then
that.
yeah, I'm sure I can send you the link and you can post it.
Yeah,
Um,
I got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
would be
Well,
the way.
that seems like a good way. Because yeah, and yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Eugenia. Well, have you back in a few months if you like to. Probably I do 3 months usually before I have people come back. So like somewhere around January or so. Does that sound good wherever you may be in the world? Hopefully on vacation again.
Definitely, definitely. I have a new business idea right now, so hopefully I will already be
Oh,
super
okay.
financially independent and
You will be.
uh, somewhere else.
You will be. You might not. Is not. You will be. You will be, and you'll be. Living the good life as you are now, but a different kind of good life. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for being on, and I very much enjoy getting to meet you and talk with you. And hope you have a great rest of your day. Go out and go walk on the beach if you can, or rainy.
Same. Thank you for having me, Rusty.
Sounds great. All right, take care.
Bye. You
Thank- All right, that's Eugenia Gomez. So you guys check her out. I'll put the link up on there. So thank you everyone for listening here to the Public Access Podcast, the podcast here on the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, QGEBN. I'm your host, Rusty Diamond, and that is the show. Man, boom!
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Ernest! Ernest! Ernest!
Yes, Pee-wee.
You brought the snacks, right?